Hi, I'm Cliff Pace, sitting here today getting all my stuff together for two events I've got coming up. The first event we're going to is the California Delta, and then directly after that we're going to Lake Havasu. So I'm packing my boat for the California Delta and then kind of packing my truck for Lake Havasu. It's going to be two totally different fisheries, I think. I'm going to go over some of the things that I'm going to use. The California Delta first, kind of my pick three. My first choice for the California Delta is going to be a hollow body frog. This is a jackal Iobi frog. It's a great frog to fish around, any kind of submerged vegetation. I think you're going to have a lot of milfoil, hydrilla, reeds, tules, things like that on the California Delta. Typically, anytime I fish a frog, I'm going to fish it on braided line. It's a 65-pound test high seas braid. And this rod that I'm using is actually a new rod that we're developing at TFO. It's a 737. For those of y'all familiar with the TFO brand, we used to make a 735, which is the stiffest rod that we had. This is a 737. It's something that I've been working with TFO on. It's 7'3", but it's an extra heavy. I think it's going to make the perfect rod to fish a frog and fish these braided lines. It's still relatively short rods. You can make good accurate casts, but still have the strength and the power to pull the fish from the cover. My second choice for the California Delta is going to be, a heavy flipping setup, something that I can punch grass or flip way back into reeds and canes. A lot of times those fish, those bigger females, especially after they spawn, they'll kind of go right back into that stuff. And you also have some males. A lot of times the fry will get up in that stuff, and those males are getting those real thick mats and guard that fry. And it's a good way to generate a reaction bite. It can be a very good post-spawn bite. This is just a pretty simple setup. 65-pound test, high seas braided line, an ounce and a quarter, elite tungsten weight, 6/0 straight shank Gamakatsu hook. This particular bait is black, blue, and silver V&M wild crawl, which I have designed. Not sure what color I'll use. We kind of let the water when I get there, take a look at that and choose a color. I just rigged this one up because it was convenient. I'm going to use the 797 TFO for this. 797 is a 7'9" extra heavy rod. It gives me the rod that gives me the leverage to get those fish out of that cover. My third choice for the California Delta is one of my favorite baits this time of year. Favorite baits for post spawn. It's a V&M Thunder Shad. I like to rig this bait on a weighted hook, and I'm going to throw this bait around all that shallow vegetation that I know is on the California Delta. It's great for fishing the edge of current. You can find the outside edge of grass lines, and you can also get back in the real thick, sloppy stuff and throw it way back in that real thick cover. It's a great bait. You can cover a lot of water with it and get it around those aggressive fish. It's a good way to get a lot of bites, especially if you have a day, where it's overcast or you get a little bit of wind. Like all the rest of my setups, this has got braided line, 65-pound test, Grand Slam braid. Gonna throw this on a 736, which is a 7'3" heavy action TFO rod, Team Lose light reel. Just a basic weighted hook with a little hitchhiker on the front of it. It's a great setup to fish shallow water. It normally is a bait that'll get a lot of bites this time of year. I really hope this becomes one of my key baits for this event.